Hi, everybody. My name is Tatiana Grant. It is so great to be with you guys today and talk all about loving our gut and supporting our gut. Our gut is so important. About 70% of our immune system is housed in our gut, and our gut controls so many things. For one, our mental health is controlled in our gut, as well as our hormones and so much more. So, we're going to talk about that here today. But before I open up the PowerPoint, we're going to do a little science experiment. So, we're going to talk mostly about our probiotic products, but we're also going to talk about a couple other really great gut health products. And one of these is called Terrazyme. So I'm going to do a little experiment with you guys. I have some snack pack, just regular chocolate pudding here, and I'm going to go ahead and open it here. And sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. They're loud. I apologize. So it's just regular chocolate pudding, and I'm going to go ahead and put this down so that you guys can see it. And then I have our Terrazyme here, and I'm going to open up two things of Terrazyme for you guys to see. Let me see here. All right, there's one there. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the second one and mix it together. And then about 20 minutes or so, we are going to check on this product and we're going to see what it does to the pudding, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and mix that all in there. Make sure it's all getting in there good. And then I will set this aside and we will check on it here in just a couple minutes, okay? Okay. All right, let me go ahead and bring up our PowerPoint here. All right, so we're talking about loving our gut so we can feel great from the inside out. So I like to think of our gut as our garden. So just like a healthy garden needs a good balance of plants and insects to thrive, our body needs the same. It needs a very diverse and balanced microbiome in order to stay healthy. So that means that we need to have that good bacteria in there. That way, when the weeds or the bad bacteria become prevalent, it can take care of it and get rid of them out of our gut. So the pathogens or the problematic microorganisms will have trouble colonizing or infecting the good bacteria. Okay, so the first product we are going to talk about is our PB Restore. So this was reformulated about, I want to say like 2 years ago. I had the opportunity to be a part of the trial, me and my family, and it was amazing. We'll talk more about that here soon. But what really sets PB Restore apart is that it's not just a probiotic, okay? So it's a probiotic, a prebiotic, it contains postbiotics, and it contains phages. So let's break each of these apart and talk about what each of these things do. So we're going to start with your prebiotics, okay? So I like to think of this as the food or the fuel for the probiotics. So this is what creates those short chain fatty acids in our body. And the short chain fatty acids are so important, especially for our mental health. So we'll talk more about that here shortly. And now let's talk about our probiotics. So these are those live microorganisms that confer health benefits to the host. So a lot of probiotics on the market only contain probiotics. They don't contain anything else. These are really great because this is what's beneficial for creating different nutrients within our body, such as folate and B vitamins and so much more. So it's definitely an essential nutrient to have within our probiome products. The next one is our postbiotics. So this is what is made up when you have prebiotics and probiotics, then our body creates postbiotics. And we're going to talk here about 5 different mechanisms that support your health when it comes to postbiotics on the next slide. But before we do that, let's take a second and talk about phages because I studied a lot of different probiotics and most of them do not contain phages, and phages are so important. So these are the healthy viruses that support and protect your cells and flora by eliminating the pathogenic bacteria. Okay, so this is what, when it sees that pathogenic bacteria inside your gut, it immediately goes to it and gets rid of it. So it's so important. Okay, so now how I said we were going to go back and talk a little bit about postbiotics. These are 5 mechanisms that support your health. So modulation of resident microbiota, the enhancement of epithelia barrier function, so that's your skin, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, modulation of systemic and localized immune responses. So remember how I said that 70% of our immune system is housed in our gut. Really important. Modulation of systemic metabolic responses and systemic signaling via the nervous system. Okay, so many great things that postbiotics do to help support our health. Okay, so how does our microbiome affect other parts of our body? So our brain, a lot of people don't think that their gut and their brain are really connected, but I like to think of our gut as our second brain, okay? So thanks to the ecosystem of our microbiome that live and communicate through the link of short strain fatty acids, scientists have determined that our gut health directly affects our mood, our cognition, our mental health, and even our pain sensitivity. So you know how we talked about those short chain fatty acids before when we were breaking down the postbiotic, probiotic, and prebiotics? Those short chain fatty acids, they create bioavailable vitamins in our body. It also creates amino acids, peptides, enzymes. It creates both GABA and dopamine. Both of those are incredibly important for your mental health. So both of those help us to stay happy, okay? So really, really important. And then also other neurotransmitters. So it has a direct correlation with our brain and our mental health. The next one is our skin. It's a physical barrier that protects us against foreign pathogens, but without our diverse microbiota, that would actually have a hard time fighting off these pathogens. So what does that mean? So I know that a lot of us love hand sanitizer. I'm one of those people, but we actually do not want to be sanitizing and disinfecting everything. So we don't want to be disinfecting our hands 24/7 and every sort of crevice because there's good microbiota and there's bad. And a lot of times with the hand sanitizers that we use, it kills off both those good bacteria and those bad bacteria. Okay, so it's really important that we limit. Okay, so we kind of just need to have a little bit of a balance when it comes to sanitizing. Next is our respiratory system. So think of this, we breathe 10 to 20 times per minute. And every single time that we breathe, we're introducing new bacteria, fungi, yeast, and protozoa into our body. And so that's why we want to have these good microbiomes in us. So that way, when we introduce maybe some bad bacteria into our body's able to do work. Next is our oral microbiome. So recent groundbreaking studies show that a 4.5-fold increase in sugar metabolism with people who regularly use alcohol-based mouthwash. So just similar like to hand sanitizer, the alcohol-based mouthwash is getting rid of both the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. So it's always good just to have that little bit of a balance, okay? Okay, so how to choose the right probiotic. So the first one is it needs to be alive. Okay, so it's vital that you ensure that the product you choose contains active live bacterial cultures and that the life of the strain is guaranteed at the time of use, not at the time of manufacture. Very, very important. You also want to check the CFUs, which stands for colonizing forming units. This indicates the number of live cell bacteria in the body or in the pill, and then as well as the AFUs. So they say that AFUs is actually the most advanced and precise method to calculate the viable cells, but you want to check that because you want to have a lot of different kinds of strains because that's what's going to keep your body healthy because our or the different strains attack different things to help protect our system. So it's important that we have a wide variety of strains. The next is the survivability and viability of the probiotics within your system. So this has to do with our stomach acid. So if you see at this picture here on the right, the top right here, this is what our probiome product looks like. So it is double encapsulated. So if you see there's kind of an outer layer, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's kind of like an oily substance. And then there's an inner layer, which is that green part. So the outer layer helps it breaks through, but it doesn't, it's able to go through our stomach acid. So a lot of time our stomach acid doesn't have a balanced pH. And so the actual probiotic and prebiotic and phages, they're not actually able to get into our lower intestine, which is where we want it. You know, it breaks open way ahead of that. So this is really important because with that double encapsulated technology, it's able to go through our stomach acid and get into our intestines, which is where we truly want it. The other thing is that we want to make sure it's science-based, okay? So are the claims made by the manufacturer? Do they have proof of science? Do they have scientific studies and research to show this? Because that's what really sets doTERRA apart, is that we actually are patented, okay? So it's really, really great because of all the studies and the research. doTERRA is a science-based company. Okay, so what all does it benefit? So one capsule has a proprietary blend of 30 bioactive components of both pre, pro, postbiotic, and those phages that we talked about. And like I said, we have a patent that we're doing right now, which makes it the market leader in diversity of strains and species within a microbiome supplement. So if you look here, these are all the different things that our probiome complex can help with. Okay, so digestive health, gut barrier, immune system, micronutrient synthesis, our metabolism, respiratory health, oral health, dermatological health, so our skin. And then it can also support our cardiovascular, urological, our brain, and our DNA function. So important, you guys. So this is some of the active components that you can find in the PB Restore. And what I would recommend is kind of taking a screenshot of this and looking up some of these different strains because it's very interesting to see how these different strains help with different health ailments within the body. So it's really great to look these up if you have a chance. I'll give everyone just a second there to take a screenshot. Okay, so now I told you guys how me and my family got to test out this product. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and watch kind of my testimonial video. I'm going to stop this for a second because I just realized I didn't turn on the sound, so you guys are not going to be able to hear that. So give me 1 second and I'll turn that on. Okay, you guys should be able to hear it now. I have two little girls, a 4-year-old and 2-year-old, and a husband, and we all love the ProBiome line. So I love that the sticks, the PB Assist Plus, are formulated for the whole family. My 4-year-old can take it, my 2-year-old can take it, and me and my husband, which is awesome. I love the taste of it, and so do my kids, to the point where my 2-year-old was literally begging me for a second one. My oldest one suffered a lot with going to the restroom on a regular basis, and when she started taking it, she was immediately going to the restroom every single day and sometimes twice a day. So that was really awesome just to see her digestion and her gut health improving so quickly. My 2-year-old suffers from extremely dry skin, and using the PB Assist Plus was so awesome to see how much her skin improved in such a short amount of time. When you think about your microbiome, I was just kind of thinking about your gut health, like your digestion. What I didn't notice is how many things it pertains to. So your microbiome is in charge of your immune system, as well as our skin, as well as hormones. So there were so many things that just kind of got unlocked when I started taking the ProBiome line. For one thing, my mood really shifted. So things that would normally be really overwhelming to me actually kept me really even keel. The biggest thing that I noticed with it was my cycle, and it wasn't something I was expecting at all. My hormones are something I've struggled with a lot, and when I was on this, my cycles got a lot lighter and a lot quicker, and I didn't have any stomach discomfort, any head tension, or even back discomfort. One thing that I wasn't expecting that was huge and super awesome was the mental clarity that I got from it. I felt like I was able to think so much clearly. I was able to adapt my mood. So just having both of those things, I saw an improvement in my family life as well as my work life. So I absolutely love the ProBiome line because it really helped with my mental clarity and being able to think and focus, which is a huge plus. All right, so that is my little testimonial. And you guys heard me talk about the PB Assist Plus. We're going to talk about that next because those are what is formulated for the whole family. So it's still a part of our ProBiome line. It's just a little bit different. So let's go ahead and talk about it here. So these remind me, I don't know if you guys have, as kids ever had like those Willy Wonka pixie sticks, like just like the sugary sticks. That's what they remind me of, okay? But for one thing, they taste better and they are a million times better for you. So it is watermelon strawberry flavored. And my kids love to just take it straight like a pixie stick. But sometimes we'll even sprinkle it over fruit. So we sprinkled it over watermelon before and over strawberries, and it tastes really good. I know some people who will mix it in water and kind of make it like a juice for their kids. So that's an option as well. I always get asked, when should you start this with your children? Around the age of 2. And this is good for adults or kids. Okay. So there's different strains in this than there is in the ProBiome in the pills that I was showing before. So this one has 13 probiotic strains that are different. So you can even take both. Like if you wanted to take both of these, you could definitely do that. Sometimes I take it just as I need something like sweet to taste. I'll just take one of those and it's kind of like a candy, like a little dessert for me. But I love it because it's convenient. And like I said, it's really great for the entire family. One of the questions that we get a lot is without the unique double layer capsule technology, how does the PB Assist sticks ensure its probiotics survive the stomach acid and reach your gut? And so the answer to that is microencapsulation. So while PB Assist may feel like it just kind of melts in your mouth, it kind of just feels like sugar melting, that they have friendly floras that are microscopic. Okay, so these probiotic strains are microencapsulated with a protective coating, which supports efficient delivery to the intestines and the lower GI tract where they can flourish and get to work. Okay, so lots of great benefits. Again, if you guys have kids, my kids love this. If maybe you don't like to swallow pills, this is a good option. Or you're just really looking to get a diverse microbiome in your gut, a diverse strains. This is good to add on to the probiome pills as well. And now I'll go ahead and show you guys my girls' little testimonial. And this is also my friend Eden Lee. Her kids are in this. And then if those of you who know Emily Wright, she's one of our owners, her grandkids are in this video too. So we'll let you guys watch and hear from a kid's point of view what they think of these PB Assist sticks. Oops, didn't play. 1 second here.
Candy. Want some? Yummy.
But it helps me digest my food way better.
It helps your poop.
Like one of those, some like sugar packets basically, but healthier.
Yeah. I want another one right now. I'll eat it. We love PBS Plus.
So as you can see, the kiddos are a huge fan of it. Again, my kids think they're candy, so I have to keep it where they can't just have easy access to it. But some of the things that I notice with my children is my youngest suffers with a lot of skin issues, especially like dry skin. I'm trying to be compliant here, but very dry skin. And as soon as she started the probiome or the PB Assistics, it cleared up. So it was way, way better. And then my youngest, she has a lot of gut issues when it comes to like milk sensitivities. And that improved so much when she got on the PB Assist sticks. And I've heard that from a lot of other people too, especially like adults who have the same sort of like intolerances, that it's helped them so much. So I loved being able to see that with my girls. You guys got to see my testimonial too. One of the other things that I didn't mention in that video was my skin. So my skin cleared up like so much. I don't have like super acne prone skin, but I did have like some of the blemishes, you know, that would show up, and my skin was totally clear throughout that entire trial, which was awesome. Okay. So now we are going to go and talk about our Terrazyme. So this is the one we did the little experiment on. So it's only been a few minutes. I think it's been less than 20 minutes actually. But Terrazyme is a whole bunch of different enzymes, okay? And it's to help you digest your food. So a lot of times maybe we're eating really healthy, but if we're not able to digest it properly, then we're not actually getting all the benefits from all the different nutrients. And so this is really, really important. You can take these up to 3 times a day, and you can take 1 to 3 capsules with every single meal. Okay, so you could take up to 9 if you needed to. I just take it 1 time a day, but I don't have like a ton of gut issues. But this is good to keep you going regularly. So if you have issues like going to the restroom regularly, this is really good for that. Again, this one's also good for food intolerances because one of the enzymes in there specifically helps with people who have like gluten intolerances and dairy intolerances. So it's really good for that. And then also just occasional indigestion. So if I go and have something really greasy and I feel really bloated after, I'll take a couple Terrazyme and it helps literally within a few minutes. And you'll see this to be true here with the experiment. So I'm going to go ahead and let me stop this so that you can see the video bigger. Okay. So it's only been a few minutes, you guys, and look at this. Isn't that amazing? It's pretty much completely liquefied. And so that's what it's doing, is it's helping you break down your food so it's easy to be digested. So you know how maybe we've done a cleanse, or maybe we've had like a stomach issue and the doctor says, you know, stick to a lot of broths and soups and soft foods, and that's because it's easier for our body to digest. So those enzymes will get in there and they will literally help our body to digest our food more easily, which is just such like so incredible. All right, let me go back here. But some other products, oh, guess we'll get to those here in a second. So what else can we do to support our gut? So our lifestyle habits are so important. That's why I always like to look at this pyramid and try to prioritizing these things. So our movement, our metabolism, our rest and our stress, our toxicity that we have in our home. We have a lot of Wellness Wednesdays classes that talk about toxicity. So if you want more information on that, but also just self-care is super important too. Limiting heavy sanitation. So we don't want to disinfect every single thing, because then when our body does come in contact with a bad bacteria, we're not going to have the good bacteria to fight it off. Okay, so it's really important that we don't do a ton of disinfecting. Also limiting our caffeine and our alcohol intake. So both of those have a big what's the word? They definitely impact our gut health. Okay, so especially our gut lining, and they add to making our stomach acid more acidic. So we want to try to limit that. And then some other things that we can do is having high quality supplementation to fill in those nutritional gaps. One thing I forgot to mention is some of the things that can impact our gut health. So I talked about caffeine and alcohol, sanitation, but medications are really huge, especially antibiotics. So they say it takes 6 months to 1 year for our gut microbiome to return back to normal after being on antibiotics, like one use of antibiotics. So one course, normally it's anywhere from 7 to 14 days. So one course of antibiotics, it can take your body 6 to 12 months in order to get the gut microbiome back. So really, really important. Some of the other things is soda. Soda is another one of those things that can really mess with our gut lining, and as well as our sleep. So some of those things just to keep in mind if you're really trying to help your gut. And then also what we eat. So fermented foods are amazing for the gut. So if you can do like kimchi and stuff like that, really great for the gut. Yogurt, that's also really important. So all of those are different things that you can try to do to help support a healthy gut. And the last thing here is just a little a QR code that you guys can scan, and you can take the free ProBiome course. So if you guys are wanting some more information on our ProBiome products and you want to hear directly from some of doTERRA's doctors, you can take this course for free. It's an amazing course. So if that's something that intrigues you, definitely scan the QR code. And then you can also ask whoever invited you to, and we can get you that link. But I hope you guys enjoyed this class. I know it was really quick, but I hope you guys are ready to tackle your gut and to help get it uplifted and ready, especially during this season, during like the winter months. I know it can be harder than usual, but now you guys have all the tactics to make your gut nice and healthy. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.